In case you don't know, guys and gals, I'm really close to 100,000 subscribers, and I'm doing a very special giveaway. The top link in this video description lets you know how you can win one of these amazing items, but you need to watch the video and I give you all the details for how you could do it. No payment, it's super simple, and it's a great way to support my channel. Good luck to all the participants. Hey, what's up, guys and gals? My name is Rick9G. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be talking about Gilligan's Island. Now, on this channel, I've done many things, and a lot of the things I've done is to debunk some of the myths, things that people say about the show, like why couldn't the professor build the boat or fix the boat. I've actually answered that in a special video. I've also answered how do the Howls have so many different outfits. There's an explanation for that, so go ahead and check out those videos. But today we're going to ask probably the third most asked question. The first two I've already answered, and that is, how do those batteries last so long in that radio that they always hear? In the show, of course, you always see them listening to that radio. And so, yeah, it makes sense. Wouldn't the batteries run out during the course of the 3 seasons? Most people say, that's because it's a dumb show. It doesn't make any sense. Well, if you really pay attention, if you watch the entire series, there is an answer that they give to how those batteries always have a charge. Now, the answer is essentially found in one episode back in season 1, but then it also makes a reappearance in season 2. So if you haven't watched those episodes, you probably won't notice. But go back to season 1, episode 18. It's called X Marks the Spot. Now, in this one, the island is a target of an experimental US warhead that lands, but of course it doesn't explode. So everyone is okay, even though they think it is dangerous. Now, Gilligan has to crawl inside this missile, of course, and deactivate it. But before he does that, they have to make sure to hear the radio reports of what's going on with that missile. So they actually hear on the radio. The problem is the radio's batteries go out in the beginning of the episode. And so they're all freaking out. They say, whoa, what are we going to do? We don't have any more batteries. We don't know what else we can do. Well, the professor realizes that they actually are rechargeable batteries. Surprisingly to me, rechargeable batteries were invented in 1899, so this is well within the realm of the show. What the professor decides to do to recharge these batteries, of course they have no electricity outlet, nothing like that. They decide to make this little crude science experiment that a lot of kids can do today with coconut shells. They had salt water, pennies, copper wire, all that stuff, all things that were actually available on the island. Nothing was far-fetched. They had to stir the coconuts, they had to actually stir the water inside the coconuts, and it was pretty cool. They were able to recharge the batteries, and it wasn't the most efficient thing, but it worked. It actually worked. Now, this is a pretty cool connection that I made watching the episode recently, The Postman Cometh. It's from season 2. It's episode 18 as well. That's very, very interesting. In fact, up to this very moment, I didn't realize that they were both episode 18. I don't know if that's a coincidence or on purpose. I'd love to hear your comments down below to let me know what you think. Anyway, in that episode, we do see Gilligan and the skipper in the scene, and we have Skipper on top of this bike type instrument or apparatus where he's pedaling, and it says dyno on it. In other words, this is essentially an alternator. It's a generator that creates electricity as the skipper is pedaling. That goes through the copper wiring, and it goes to this little coconut thing that the professor made back in season 1 that we just talked about, and it recharges the batteries. And it even mentions, the skipper's mentioning that he's working up to recharge those batteries. That's how they kept these batteries running the entire time. So in case you didn't know that, make sure to tell your friends and your family. It's really surprising, the more I watch and the more I study and research the show, how fairly accurate it is. And yes, there's some outlandish things here and there, but a lot of it in the continuity is pretty well done, especially for the 1960s, in the fairly early decades of television history. We'll see you next time, guys and gals. Thank you so much for the support as always, and most importantly, be hopeful. Thank you so much to my diamond tier patrons, Gary N, David D, Paul T, and Ricky. If you want to be named here in the credits, make sure to look at the link in the description, and you'll be able to receive more exclusive giveaways only on Patreon. We'll see you next time.